Bojo, Dibit Gishko Quaid and Dishnakas, Gnoja Conning and Donjiba, Mayangan and Donam, Anishinaabe and Dao. Hello, my name is Chelsey. I come from the Wolf Clan. I'm from the place of the Pike, Bay Mills, and I am Anishinaabe. And I've been asked today to make a video for you guys about basically all about the Jingle Dress, tell you a little bit of the history about it, what certain things mean, show you how to dance, and of course we want to take care of ourselves because it is physical activity basically. So the Jingle Dress did originate with the Ojibwe people actually during the flu pandemic in the late 19-teens. The story of how the Jingle Dress came to be changes throughout the different geographical areas, but basically the common theme is that a dream was had where the Jingle Dress appeared, and from that dream the community decided to make the Jingle Dress because the dream basically told them that it would bring healing. And typically these stories involve a small girl who was sick. And from the Jingle Dress dancing, she actually got up and started dancing herself because the Jingle Dress dancers were dancing for her. Since then, a lot of other tribes have picked up the Jingle Dress dance, and we still consider it a healing dance to this day. And it's fitting that there are Jingle Dress dancers doing healing dances right now for the current pandemic, which is kind of at the same levels as the pandemic where the Jingle Dress originated in the first place. So a few things, the cones are meant to mimic the sound of rain, and right now there are actually two different styles of Jingle Dress dancing. There's the old style, which is natural materials, and they dance a particular way, which I can show you in just a little bit here. And then there's the contemporary Jingle Dress style, which is what I dance, where we use a little more flashy regalia and we do more flashier moves. So here I carry a hawktail fan. I'm currently working on an eagle feather fan, but this is what I carry. A lot of Jingle Dress dancers carry fans. Whether it's a hawktail or an eagle fan or sometimes even a turkey feather fan, whatever kind of feathers they choose to carry. And a lot of Jingle Dress dancers don't carry a fan at all, and they will just dance with their hands on their hips. So something to note while we're on the discussion of fans is honor beats. So when you hear these loud beats that are slower than the rest of the drum beats, typically there's 4 beats and they happen 4 times within a song. You'll want to do something in your dance to honor whoever you are thinking about in that moment, whether you are praying for somebody or whether you've been asked to dance for a particular reason, or whether you're just showing honor for, whatever is in your thoughts at the moment. So typically when Jingle Dress dancers who have fans, we will kind of raise it up in the air, and whatever kind of movement you want to do with it is fine. If you just want to hold it in the air, that's fine. Some people, they might do a little bit of a flick, or they might wave it around. That's something that we do whether we're dancing straight style or side step. Again, I'll differentiate between the two in just a little bit, but basically the honor beat actions are kind of the same for both styles of dancing. Alright, so now you know about the different types of Jingle Dress dancing. Now there are different kind of songs that we dance to and different styles of dance that we do according to those songs. So most of the time you'll see like a straight dance, which will be the highlight of our physical movement today. It's kind of the most intense style of dancing for Jingle Dress dance. We also have the side step, which is most frequently used for healing dances. So we'll be using the side step as a warm-up and a cool down for our physical activity today. We'll be using the crow hop for our warm-up as well, in between the side step and the straight dance. So yeah, I think I might have covered everything for this introduction. Next I'm going to show you some moves, and then we'll get into the warm-up, and then we'll do the actual dance, and then cool down. So yeah, if you're a giveaway out there, be proud that this dance originated with our people, and also be proud that the beaded eyebrow originated with our people too. I've also been asked to be available to answer any questions. I'm always willing to answer. I don't know, I'm not the keeper of all of our traditional knowledge here, but I do know enough about the Jingle Dress that I'm comfortable helping out, so let's get started.
Okay, so the simplest way to do a side step is to kind of bounce while scooting your feet from side to side. You can also add a little more bounce to that by bouncing up and down on your toes. And finally, you can have a little more fun with it by scooting in different directions and in circles. So with the crow hop, you're basically taking one foot and joining it to the other and then alternating with the other foot. And then you're going to speed it up to the beat of the drum while hopping more into that. Don't be afraid to play around and get fancy with your moves. So here's one where you can just kind of tap your toes multiple times and work that into the crow hop beat. So the movements in old style jingle are more minimal than contemporary. You keep your feet very low to the ground, and sometimes you can just kind of shuffle your feet back and forth. There is also no twirling or dancing backwards in old style jingle. Contemporary jingle does have the same types of movements as old style, but we add some flashy movements as well as twirling and dancing backwards. So let me show you a couple moves. Try tapping your toes and your heels in front of you and then tapping your toes in kind of a half circular movement. And then complete the move by switching to the other foot and doing the same steps. When you're doing one foot moves like this, you just kind of hop on the other foot while you complete the move. Another popular move is to crisscross your legs, alternating which leg goes in the front, and then also crisscrossing one leg at a time. Here's another one. You can kind of take your foot and then sweep it across the ground. Obviously, there's a lot more moves to contemporary jingle. A lot of these moves you just sort of come up with yourself and come up with your own style. But I hope this was helpful, and now we're going to get started on the warm-up and the dancing. Quick disclaimer, I'm no expert in stretching. I just do what I find is important for my body. You should do your own research on the types of stretches that you think you should be doing. But for me, my ankles are a very important part for me to stretch. I just kind of roll them around and alternate directions. Next, bend over and reach as far as you can, whether you can touch your toes or the floor, or if you can't touch at all, doesn't matter. And then widen your legs and do the same thing. Keeping your legs widened, come back up and reach your arm over to one side and then hold it, and then alternate over to the other side and do the same thing. Another thing that I find important for my own body is to kind of circle my hips around and then alternate directions. Just bring it around town and stretch out your hips. And then crossing one arm over the other and twisting is kind of a good side stretcher as well. All right, that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed learning about jingle dress dancing, the origins of it, and getting up and being active for a bit. Miigwech, Bamapi.